Okay, so now I'm gonna work on the bottom cuff or the leg band. And what I am going to do is I'm gonna put my right sides together. So I'm gonna fold it in half here with the right sides together, lining up my triangles on this shorter edge here. And then I'm gonna stitch this raw edge right here. Now, because my directions don't tell me a seam allowance, I am gonna do a standard 5/8 inch seam allowance for this. And I'm gonna go ahead and do this to both of my pieces. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead now that I sewed this, now that I sewed this short edge together with my 5/8 inch seam allowance, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn this so that my wrong sides are together, my right sides are out. And once I have kind of this lined up here, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna press this and I'm gonna pin this top in place. So I'm gonna go do that and I'll show you what it looks like when it comes back, when I come back. Okay, so now I have those folded so that the wrong sides are together, right side is out, and I have them pinned in place so that I've got my little cuff. Okay, so now I'm going to line up my cuff with my pant leg, and I need to make sure that my seams are lined up here, and I also want to make sure that my raw edges match up. So here I put kind of the cuff over top of my pant leg so that my right sides are together. And then when I go ahead and sew this, after I sew it, I'll be able to flip it down and we will have a finished edge there on the outside. So this is the way that I think is easiest to do this. Okay, and then once I am done with one pant leg, I am going to go ahead and I'm gonna pin the other one here right away. So again, I wanna make sure that I find that inner seam. I'm just following that. This is going to be the inside seam, and I'm going to line that up with the seam of my cuff, which is right here. So slide this kind of in there and line that up and pin that in place. And then if I go opposite, I know that I've got my blue dots. I don't know if you can see those there. They're right here on my cuff. So I'm going to take those blue dots and those get lined up with the opposite seam over here. Okay, so now that those are both pinned in place here, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna stitch. I'm gonna just baste this in place first. So again, a baste is gonna be a temporary stitch. I usually do this I do this by hand so that I can control how long my stitch length is. I usually do a pretty long stitch length. And I only tie one end so that I can easily pull it out later on. Okay, and then having that base stitch there just ensures that I don't have to have any pins in when I sew that, so that's going to be really nice for me when I go to sew that together. When I do go to sew this together, I'm going to stitch it twice. I'm first going to stitch with a 5/8 inch seam allowance all the way around. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And then I'm going to stitch close to that second stitching that I do. And then I'm going to trim close to that second seam allowance that I do. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that right now.